Hi, my name is Jamie Nuttall and I'm the Managing Director of Myna L2 Accountancy. Now, with over a decade's worth of experience in taxation, I've been in the crypto space since 2018, specifically dealing with crypto tax issues. I'm a fellow member of the FCCA, an award-winning crypto tax advisor, speaker, and educator within the space. I've spoken for organizations such as the FCCA, ICAEW, 2020 Innovation, Digital Accountancy Show, Accountex, and of course, Zebu Live. So what do we do at Myna L2 Accountancy? We will take your crypto bookkeeping to the next level. This part of it is often overlooked, not just by accountants, but by the retail investor themselves. And this aspect of the job is actually a lot more complicated and time-consuming, however, more necessary than anything else. We also deal with HMRC investigation and compliance work, as well as general tax work. And if you need any project-based services, just give me a shout. Tax is complicated. Crypto is complicated. When you amalgamate the two, you've got an absolute mess of compliance, investigation, and actually just getting on the work. So it's time-consuming as well. So what we do is we take that burden off of you so you can focus on what matters to you, your business, your family, and your free time. So what is the process? Well, we can sit down one-to-one, figure out where your pain points are, where the issues are specifically, and of course come up with a plan of action. We'll amalgamate the data together using software, and then we'll start the work. Once the work has started, we'll send you across some queries just to kind of cross the T's and dot the I's before we continue the work itself. Once that's done, we'll send you out the reports to see how they feel with you and if anything is missing. Once you have eventually approved said reports, if you need a tax return, because you don't always need one, if you do, we'll then populate the tax return itself, send it to you again for your final approval, and then close the case with HMRC, submitting it and advising you how much to pay and when to pay. So what makes us stand out in the crowd when there's a sea of accountants available for you? As an avid investor myself, I've been through everything, and I mean everything. I've been through rugs, I've been through scams, and I've certainly purchased NFTs that were completely fake myself. I'm an avid fan of NFTs, you probably see online if you do follow me, and I'm probably one of the only accountants that's actually inscribed on the Bitcoin blockchain itself. Now, why does that all matter? In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really. The difference is you can talk to me like a fellow investor. So we can deal with the tax issues and bookkeeping concerns that you might have, and less time explaining how you made money on Fartcoin. Think of it this way, if you have an accountant that deals with your rental property, and one of the questions they ask you is, hey, what is mortgage interest? Alarm bells are going to ring. But why? That particular accountant might not have a mortgage. How did they know about mortgage interest? Well, apart from the fact that it's their job to know, someone's taught them or they've taken time to learn about it. By knowing about mortgage interest, for example, they will understand that there is a restriction on the relief that you might have. And this cuts out all the research and conversation about how it works from the get-go. Imagine that within the crypto space. Imagine having an accountant where you don't have to explain how you've burnt one NFT and received 3 in compensation for those. And then imagine the accountant knowing that you can actually roll the base cost into those 3 NFTs. Imagine being able to cut all of that conversation out completely. And that's where we come in. That's how we present ourselves to you as a potential client, investor, or business partner. Let me share with you one of my biggest cases to date. Now, this particular individual had over 5.4 million transactions. Now, if we take that into perspective, the average investor probably has about 3,000 at tops per year. This person had 5.4 million in total. Now, with this particular situation, we had to not only just amalgamate the data, but work with one of our close associates to develop their particular software to accept the data that this person has and amalgamate it into something that's more palatable within the software. And then we had to deal with the tax treatment itself. In terms of tax treatment, we had everything that the crypto space could offer. Airdrops, NFTs, staking, mining, and even self-employment. Now, with each individual section, we had to decide on the tax treatment appropriately and ring-fence that separately. In the end, we had to submit multiple historical tax returns, and so far, we've not had a single issue from HMRC. Now, what we've managed to do here is take a situation that looked almost impossible to deal with The poor client had no idea how to deal with it, didn't know who could help them, but luckily found us. This meant that all of that burden was alleviated from the client as soon as they signed up with us. So that's a little bit about myself and Myna L2 Accountants. If you want more details, just get in touch. You can get hold of me via this platform or go to our website www.mynal2.co.uk.